I've been wanting to do this for a long time. We're going to tour Nordic Veneer, right in my neighborhood, where they turn second growth Douglas fir, like this deck right here, into LVL, the veneer for LVL and I-joists manufactured at Roseburg Lumber, also in our neighborhood. We're going to introduce you to Bailey Adams. Bailey, thanks for having us by here.
Thanks for coming by.
Fourth generation family-owned outfit, and you are going to be stunned at what you see happen in this little mill. So we're walking along here next to a stack of second growth Douglas fir, third growth, fourth growth.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fourth generation. Some of these trees are fourth generation off this ground, maybe,
Absolutely.
right?
A lot of these trees are older than me.
Not many of them are older than me, though. So, Bailey, how many trucks a day come in here when you're running hard?
75 to 80.
75 to 80. And there's, you said 3,500 board feet to 5,000 board feet on a load?
Yep.
Okay. Now, you said the difference in the 3,500 against 5,000 is seasonal. Why?
Yeah. Moisture content. So in the winter, when the wood's heavier, you can only fit a certain amount.
Ah, the trucks get overweight.
Yep.
All right. How old are these trees? What's your average size and age on this second growth fir?
Average block diameter through the mill is about 13 inches. I'd say that's probably a 40 to 50-year-old tree.
Okay. All right. Down to, you get some smaller ones that are...
Some of the smaller trees that you'll see have a 20-year rotation.
Seriously sustainable, right? This country
Absolutely.
grows trees.
Absolutely.
And then those trees are peeled into the veneer, and the veneer is engineered and manufactured to make boards that are wide, that in the past could have only come from big wood.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're re-engineering a log.
Re-engineering.
Instead of dimensional lumber, you're gluing veneer back together and making a dimensional lumber.
A more consistent board, too. Engineers like it better because they know the strength everywhere.
Absolutely.
All right, so the sustainability of the crop, and it is a crop.
Yep.
Let's talk about the sustainability and the efficiency of the mill here. How much of what comes in on the trucks is waste?
None.
None.
No.
None. I mean, what about this stuff? I mean, bark, right? Now this, what happens with this?
That bark will go through a hog chipper, and it will be shipped to Roseburg for hog fuel.
Hog fuel.
Burn for
cogen.
energy. Cogen plant.
They burn this, turn it into electricity to run the mill.
Yep.
And the chips?
Chips go to Coos Bay, and from there are loaded on a ship and sent to either Japan or China for paper.
Turned into paper.
Yep.
Bark doesn't make paper, but wood fiber makes paper.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, and so we're going to see some steam vats.
Yeah.
They're impressive. The fuel for that is?
Natural gas.
Which means your emissions are low around here.
Absolutely.
Wow.
No dryers.
No dryers.
Yep.
No dryers. So the electricity is used just to process the wood. The steam is used to soften the wood. I can't wait to see the rest of this process. Before we get away from this deck, what did you say? There's maybe 750,000 board feet in this deck?
750,000 board feet,
Wow.
approximately.
Wow.
All Douglas fir.
Every stick, small log Douglas fir. Tight grain.
Yeah,
In general,
beautiful,
this is
beautiful
tight
wood.
grain.
Beautiful wood.
The defect is, see there, Brady, let's look at that. A little defect in that, but the veneer doesn't care. The veneer will peel around that, and the middle of that will go out. It'll blow up right at the end, but the core goes out.
Yep.
Okay, let's go inside and see the men and machines that make Nordic Veneer a contender for the most efficient little family-owned veneer plant in the whole wide world. So when the logs come into the mill, two things happen right off the bat. They go through a ring barker to remove every bit of the bark, and then they're cut to length into blocks with a swing saw before they go to the steam vats. This shot doesn't even come close to capturing how intimidating a 42-inch 5-arm Nicholson debarker really is. It is pretty incredible. Equally amazing is this 82-inch swing saw, and this whole part of the mill is a situation where your brain is saying, yep, I think I'm safe right here, and your instinct is saying, time to run. Between Cody Pearson on the swing saw and Mike Belando on the barker, these guys are removing the bark and cutting 102-inch long blocks at the rate of 850 to 900 blocks per hour. That is one about every 4 seconds.
So we got all kinds of material handling going on here, putting them into the vats and then back out. What's going on here?
So from the barker, the vats are filled. This is overflow. Once these vats are filled, the key is to heat these blocks up to 155 degrees so that when they're loaded onto the lathe and peeled, you're right in that 120 degree mark. That's the sweet spot.
It's pliable, but it's not falling apart.
Yep.
So what's the fuel for this? What makes them hot?
So you mix natural gas and water to make steam. You pump that steam down below underneath the blocks. It rises up through a small layer of water and it heats that.
Oh, there's
block.
water underneath and the steam rises up just naturally up through the water and really saturates the air.
Yep.
So it's
One
not
big
just
pressure cooker.
But it's not just the heat, it's the moisture and the heat.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you fill that tunnel with 3-4 inches of water.
Wow. So we just came through the front end, right? I mean the barking and the block length and everything. What are we walking into here?
So now we're walking into the green end. You got the lathe, the clipper and scanner, the stackers. This is where the block is peeled down to veneer.
So the tolerance just went from plus or minus an inch to plus or minus 5 thousandths.
Absolutely.
Bingo, baby. Let's see it.
Lathe operators are valuable people. They are not thick on the ground, and the success of the whole effort depends to a big extent on them. So just like the men that you met at the ring barker and the swing saw, the lathe operator literally must become one with the machine. At the charger, the blocks are scanned and analyzed with an XY scanner for maximum recovery and then handed off to the lathe to be peeled. This is the heart of the mill, the actual lathe, the cutting edge of the lathe. The speed and accuracy of what's happening here is simply stunning. You're watching in real time right now. And keep in mind that the tolerance on length is about a 1/16 of an inch, but on thickness, anywhere between 124 thousandths and 127 thousandths of an inch is just fine. Any more or any less is rejected. The red dots are lasers that are scanning the blocks at the charger in order to position them as efficiently as possible for the lathe chucks that grab a hold, and the block is changed into a ribbon of veneer, and of course a cylindrical peeler core which is left over that's about 3 inches in diameter, and it happens in just a few seconds. Here's another amazing bit of trivia. If the block has a nail or a bullet or a rock or something else embedded, and it's run into the lathe knife, another razor-sharp knife can be installed and the mill is up and running again in 3 minutes flat. This young man, Bailey Adams, knows every specification, every detail, every worker, every machine on the property. And he should, because he's the 4th generation of this family to pour his heart and his soul into this enterprise. A fun fact is that 31 years ago, when Kelly and I moved our family back to Oregon, my dad and I were logging, and we sold a lot of logs to Nordic Veneer. And Bailey's dad, JR, was the buyer. These jumping red moisture pads are indicating measurements of moisture content in the ribbon of veneer as it shoots by. This information decrees which automatic stacker bin the sheets themselves get sent to.
So all these screens, all this visual, overwhelming.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What is this? What am I looking at here?
So this is the scanner. This is live, real-time scanning, and this scanner's deciding where to make a clip.
Okay, this is scanning that ribbon of veneer that's shooting off there at 40 miles an hour.
Yep.
And the green lines are?
The green lines are where it's precisely going to make a clip.
Going to be cut.
It's dead nuts accurate.
Okay, so the clipper is a machine. They're knives that cut that ribbon into length.
Yep, a rotary clipper.
A rotary clipper, and the green lines. So these are all the same size.
Yep. Oh. They're all 54s.
Okay.
All wide sheets.
What are the purple?
That is in the sapwood where we're making a random clip.
Okay, getting the good out of what used to be junk,
Yep.
and now you're getting the good out of it.
And I can come in and I can see why it made a clip in real time. I can look at defects.
Wow.
See void, splits, all that stuff. And I can set this up to where it's leaving in what I want it to leave in or taking out what I want it to take out.
To satisfy the specifications of Roseburg Lumber's product that they have to make out of this.
Yep.
And you can change this on the fly.
On the fly.
Unbelievable.
What you're watching right here is a nail diverter belt. It's sorting and conveying sheets uphill against gravity by pressing short, sharp spikes about 1.5 inches apart right into the flying ribbon in order to sort them by moisture level and width. These nails last about 5 months before they've got to be changed out. It is just so cool. These lights indicate the status of the giant chip bins that are outside the mill itself. Green means the bin's empty, yellow means it's half full, and red means it is completely full. And the truck drivers keep track of that as they pull in to receive their loads of chips. These sheets are sorted based on, as I've mentioned, moisture content. There's 2 bins for the heartwood because it's drier, 2 bins for light sap, and 2 bins for sap. This information, this sort, helps the dryer efficiency at the LVL plant or the plywood mill that ends up putting these things into the final product. Now, just like any other well-run enterprise, cleanup is essential in order to keep the equipment running smoothly and to inspect and then repair the machinery when it needs it. And Raul Vasquez has worked at Nordic Veneer on cleanup for almost 15 years. Grinder man Ron Hamilton grinds and hones 12 sets of lathe knives every day, along with the core chipper knives, the clipper knives, and the veneer chipper knives. Everything in this plant except the saw blades are sharpened in-house by Ron.
You always grind lathe knives in pairs.
Oh!
So you got 1 knife here and you got 1 knife here. You always grind them in pairs.
Ah!
And you go through, what would you say, Ron, 10 to 14 sets?
Grind today?
Yeah.
10 to 6.
Rotary clipper, sharp on both sides. Every 180 degrees, it's making a clip.
Lathe knives are changed out every hour and a half. And like I mentioned, it only takes 2 minutes to do that work. But clipper knives, on the other hand, are changed out about every other week.
Make that.
And that heat buildup is just from running on the edge, or that's
Yep.
not?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a little flex in there when it's running. These are the pad chipper knives, the lily pad chipper.
Yeah, for hogging all those things.
Yeah. So it's a drum chipper, and you've got 114 of these in a drum.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful. Don't put a wet part in there.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Wow, look at that. I had no idea you guys were doing that here.
Can you see the push bolts at the back edge of these knives? They are used to keep the knife moved forward into precisely the right position as it is worn down by grinding.
So these are all items we've collected over the years that we've hit with the lathe. See, and when a lot of wood came from Forest Service, you'd see a lot of spikes from fences to bullets in the wood. I've even seen a ladder for a tree stand.
A tree stand, a hunter. Okay, that was a railroad spike right there. Somebody was probably using to climb up a tree.
Yep.
Wow, look at
Just
that.
all sorts of stuff.
Shut her down, boys. We got to swap the knife.
These chips are being sorted on this shaker screen so that the oversized chips are sent back to a re-chipper in order to break them down to the specified size for the product for which they're intended.
So I've learned a lot of astounding facts here today, Bailey. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's what I want to point out, among other things. Each one of those sheets, the tolerance on the thickness is minus 1/1000 plus 2/1000. An eighth of an inch, 0.125. Acceptable is between 0.124 and 0.127. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Here's the next crazy thing. Every 24-hour output will make a stack of those eighth-inch sheets as tall as the Empire State Building. 220 sheets per unit,
Yep.
17 and a quarter units per truckload on average. Astounding. But equally astounding, this 28-year-old man was born for this job, fourth generation.
Yeah.
And you've known it since you were this high.
I've been around it my whole life.
So that's astounding. We walked through here, I didn't ask a question he couldn't answer. I didn't come to a station where he didn't demonstrate an ability to step into the productivity of what's going on here. And the men in this shop are incentivized with a portion of the proceeds. No wonder they're so happy.
Yeah. We love what we do here. We're one big family, and we keep things running smooth.
Running smooth. Now, you know the old adage, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. In this case, fast is smooth and fast is fast. And there are men working here who have been working here for 30 years.
Yep.
There's an article in a newspaper, men working here for 40 years. I expect this guy is going to last longer than that.
Oh, I've got another 50 years.
You got 50 years. I hope you are as inspired by this as I am. And next time you pick up a piece of Roseburg lumber, plywood, or an LVL, or anything else, there's a fighting chance that this young man supervised the production and this little shop made it happen. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.